Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Olivia here at the Olivia's Romantic Home, and in today's video I cannot wait to share with you some more DIY Dollar Tree spring and Easter decor crafts. You guys, I love the Dollar Tree. I love sharing these crafting ideas with you. I'm a crazy mama with a glue gun who loves to decorate and craft and clean and organize. So if you guys are new here, I would love to have you subscribe, be part of this crazy crafting journey with me. And let's get out those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting.
For this DIY, I cannot wait to share with you this beautiful Dollar Tree rustic garden spring French farmhouse style wreath inspired by the last round of DIYs that we did with a very garden spring French farmhouse flair. So let's get to this. I cannot wait to share this with you guys. For this Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to create a really beautiful French farmhouse style wreath. So I'm taking a wire wreath form from Dollar Tree, and then I'm taking some evergreen garland. This is inexpensive garland I had left over from Christmas, and I'm just taking the evergreen branches and looping them in and around the edges of the wire garland. I used 2 pieces of garland to create this base. You could also use a grapevine vase, or really whatever kind of base you have on hand would work. And then now that I have my garland created, I want to make an Olivia bow. So I'm using this wired black and burlap striped ribbon that I found at Walmart. It was $5 for the roll, but it was definitely worth the splurge for this because I knew I wanted to tie in a blessed sign DIY that I made. So you're just going to take the ribbon and loop it over on itself 3 times, and then you're going to cut 2 little notches in the center. I do have some Olivia bow wreath tutorials that I will link down below. So just cut 2 tiny notches in either side of your ribbon, and be careful, don't cut too far because you don't want the bow to fall apart. And then take a pipe cleaner and you're just going to twist the pipe cleaner on and then pull your loops out. You can also dovetail your ends by cutting upwards in a triangle direction. I guess that makes sense. I don't know. Just make the end of your bow look pretty. Okay, so now that we've got our bow ready to roll, we're going to do a bit of fluffing here. So you're just going to take the ribbon to make that dovetail in and crease it and then cut upwards. Be careful when you're cutting upward. I also decided to add in a little bit of burlap to the back of this bow just to give it some dimension and texture. This was just some burlap that I had left over from another project. I believe I got it at Walmart, but Dollar Tree also carries burlap ribbon. Okay, so now we're going to take a longer piece of burlap ribbon, and I'm just going to loop it in and around the entire wreath. So just use those evergreen branches to kind of twist tie your burlap on. There's no real rhyme or reason. You just want to add some of that in. Then I'm going to take this piece of Dollar Tree Greenery and take the evergreen and just kind of loop it around the base of this wreath. I want it to kind of stick out at the bottom. I want this wreath to look very French farmhouse, blooming woodland rustic theme. So I want to use a lot of greenery and neutral burlaps. Now I'm just twist tying my bow on, and then I'm going to give it a bit of a fluffing. That's really the secret to a bow, is just continue to give it a nice good fluffing. Once I had my greenery on, I decided to add in one of those Dollar Tree Grapevine wreath bases. This is optional, but I did want to give it that rustic woodland theme, so I'm just taking the little green evergreens and twist tying them on. So I did that in 3 different places, and then I took the little greenery piece and I looped it in and over the wreath, kind of to give it some more stability and also some dimension on this other side. So all of the greenery that I'm using, everything that I'm using in this wreath is from Dollar Tree except for the ribbon for the bow. And I believe that burlap also came from Walmart from last year, the year before last, but again, Dollar Tree also carries burlap. So I'm just taking some of that Dollar Tree onion grass. I poked a big I poked a big grouping of onion grass up at the top and down below and then off to the side. And then you will see me kind of take it apart just a little bit and hot glue it in just to give it that extra bit of stability. I'm also using this piece of burlap to kind of go in and around the back of the wreath. I wanted to fill the wreath out. I really love to go really over the top with my creations, and so anyway, but yeah, so now I'm just adding in some greenery, and you guys can see me dancing around. So I decided to have a just full out wreath crafting day. I was blasting Mumford and Sons. I love their music. I really was doing a jig throughout this whole video. So you guys, this is your laugh for the day. Super awkward mom dancing. There you go. So anyway, I'm just continuing to add in some of the Dollar Tree onion grass and some little pieces of greenery. I just took some wire cutters and cut these pieces down, and now I have in some little white bits and pieces that I wanted to add in. This is just more Dollar Tree florals. They carry some of those little white florals, and then I'm also adding in some white lilacs. These are so pretty. I used them in my centerpiece for my last DIY. If you guys need some spring inspiration, I've been doing a ton of spring and Easter DIYs. So I'm just hot gluing the ends of these and then putting them into the wreath. Now, to give this wreath a little bit of a wow factor, I'm taking some of those Dollar Tree clay pots and adding a twist tie into the center and just twist tying it at the base and then leaving a little spot that I can twist tie it onto the wreath. Now, this definitely took some maneuvering. I just twist tied it into the wire base part of the wreath. Make sure you get it twist tied in really good because you don't want these flopping out. So I did have to really get in there and twist tie it a bunch, and then I'm adding tons and tons of hot glue to the base of those little pots. And now I just added some hot glue to the center, and I'm adding in some beautiful Dollar Tree moss, again to give it that really pretty rustic woodland kind of Frenchy springtime really feel. Now I'm just adding in another layer of bows to the base of this wreath. I just decided on this part to use some of that jute twine. That way you couldn't see any funky colors. So I just tied that on to the base of the wreath. And now you're going to see me adding in some of those Dollar Tree ferns. I've really been loving these. I think they look pretty realistic and they're inexpensive. They come 5 or 6 on a bundle. And then I decided to clip off some fake lavender. Yeah, this was from the lavender bundle that I used in another DIY. So I just clipped off a couple of little pieces. I did want to give this wreath some sprigs of color. I also added in this super cute little purple bird that I found last season, I believe at TJ Maxx for a couple of dollars. I wanted a smaller, more realistic looking bird, but I didn't have any on hand and I wanted to finish this project. So anywho's, so I'm adding in now a bit of moss to the base of the bird, and now I'm taking some of those really pretty Dollar Tree speckled eggs. I'm adding in some hot glue and just hot gluing them in and around the wreath. And then I just continue to add some more eggs into the center of my bow and some greenery just to kind of fill things out a bit. And I am so over the moon in love with this creation. I have really been wanting to get my hands on some really pretty black and white ribbon. Again, I did that bless sign, and you guys are going to see it as I pan around a little bit later in this video, but here's a beautiful close-up. I am very thrilled with this, super inexpensive, almost all Dollar Tree items, and I think this came out very high-end for a teeny tiny budget. So for my candle, I'm just burning one of my Christmas candles. Actually, it was Noel, but it was green, so I went ahead and added it to this tablescape. This is the tablescape that we created with the 6 DIY Dollar Tree French Farmhouse Easter baskets. This was my inspiration for this wreath, and I think it really works really well. I'm really pleased with it. And the other thing I wanted to do too is just to take you guys outside. A lot of you asked how my garden bike floral is doing. Again, we did this in another DIY that you can find a couple videos back. I did a really cute little Dollar Tree bike, but here are some of my spring flowers. They're popping out of the ground, and I cannot resist sharing that with you guys. Also, my little spring floral in the bike is holding up pretty good considering how much rain and crazy weather we've had. And one of you asked to be introduced to Tinky, my cat, and there she is. She was hanging out with me for just a bit outside. It was actually kind of warm today. We were able to get outside for just a little bit, and then of course she had to come in to visit with me and see what was going on in my crafty land. The other thing I wanted to share with you guys is I'm also changing out my Grove Collaborative Mrs. Meyer's cleaning scents to the honeysuckle to give some of those spring vibes. I do have a coupon code below if you guys want to try some delicious smelling cleaners. You can get a 5-piece free gift set with a $20 purchase. And thank you to everyone who has used my coupon code. So here's just an overview of how my dining room is looking. I am so over the moon in love with this. Now, I do feel like I need to add in just a tiny bit of some very thin, maybe pastel pink florals. The other thing is, you guys, I found pastel candy corn at Tuesday morning, in case you're looking for that. Anywhoosie, here's that blessed sign, and this is why I wanted to find that black and white ribbon to kind of tie this all together. I have the blessed sign hanging over my craft cabinet there, and then moving into my dining room and just doing a quick little pan around. I did take all of the greenery out of that cabinet. I really wasn't pleased with that. I think I just want to keep it neutrals. And then here is my tablescape, again with those DIYs that we created. I'm kind of crushing on this, and I'm so ready for spring. I hope you guys are loving this. Comment and let me know, what is your favorite thing about spring dreaming, or your favorite plant that grows in the springtime?
So thank you all so much for joining me on this wonderful crafting journey. It is a true blessing and honor to have you all here. I just want to snug each and every one of you because this community is so amazing. Y'all are so loving and supportive. If you want to say hi, let me know where you're from. Let me know what you're up to today and what kind of crafting projects you're working on. I love you so much. If you're new, I would love to have you subscribe and be part of my YouTube family. Click that subscribe button. There's a little bell that will notify you every time I post a new YouTube video. I would love to have you guys here. Thank you so much for everybody that is here. I love you, and we will talk to the next video. Bye-bye.